Release the birds. So let me pause for a minute. Yes, you can hear me. Very nice. So thank you. And so welcome to our meditation done here at Spirit Rock Meditation Center in Marin County, just north of San Francisco. And beautiful rolling hillsides with lots of oaks and some redwoods trees, and with some wonderful wildlife wandering around. And maybe we'll see some walking behind me in the hills. So we continue in our Samadhi practice, and I would like to read to you as we start the briefest description of the third jhana. The texts say that the ancient practitioners, the noble ones, described the third jhana this way: equanimous and aware, one abides in happiness. Equanimous and aware, one abides in happiness. The word for aware is sati, more commonly translated as mindfulness. So it would be equanimous and mindful. One abides in happiness. This idea of abiding in happiness. So to assume a meditation posture, and if you've been sitting regularly in your meditation posture, maybe the familiarity, maybe there's something about assuming the posture that's a happy thing, a comforting thing. Yes, to entering into this quiet time for the body, to be still. Yes, to putting aside the responsibilities of the day and to abide in the present moment, the simplicity of here and now, with nothing else to do, but to sit quietly and to gently close your eyes. Feeling again anything that feels nice for you, with the eyes closed, the body still, and into that niceness, take a few long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in deeply and exhaling, a long exhale. Letting go as you exhale. And letting your breathing return to normal. And one of the first words associated with jhana is to enter, not to hold yourself apart from your body, your heart, not to be in the control tower, watching from up there or thinking up there, but to enter into, like entering into a refreshing bath or pool of water, or refreshing grove of trees. So to enter into your body, as you exhale, lower yourself into your body, into the torso, all the way down to where your weight is received by whatever is holding you up from gravity. Breathing normally, but pausing at the end of the exhale, not to hold your breath so much, but to pause so you can dip deeper in to the body, to feel the source, that urge to breathe in and to receptively receive the inhale. Dipping into the body. Relaxing on the exhale. Softening into whatever feels good in the body. Softening into the stillness, softness that you find in the body. And as you exhale, to relax the thinking mind. A softening, quieting of thinking. Every time you relax your thinking mind, letting go of your thoughts, let go into your body breathing. And then as you exhale, see if there can be a resting with the exhale, resting in the sensations of breathing out, resting as the diaphragm relaxes, the rib cage pulls in, exhale is partly a release of tension or pressure in the diaphragm and the chest and the belly. Abiding in the rest, abiding in the rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. With each exhale, resting the thinking mind, resting into the end of the exhale. Abiding in the body here and now. And then looking around, especially in your body, for any feelings of contentment, happiness, well-being, even if it's in the corners of your body, wherever there might be some feelings associated with breathing, the torso, the body. And as you breathe, rest in that well-being. Rest in the body's contentment, happiness. Abiding in happiness. One breath at a time. as you breathe, see if you can find in your body a peaceful happiness. That even if it's just a hint of it, a happy peace. And as you breathe, enter and abide with that happiness in such a way that your thinking mind becomes quiet, empty, open to better receive, feel, embodied well-being. resting here, resting in whatever contentment, well-being is in your body. And imagine or have that well-being, feel it spread through your body, spreading out beyond the edges, the soft, edges of your body, as if well-being radiates from you. Happiness radiates, flows, spills out into the world. Sharing your well-being, your happiness, with everything your awareness thinks of, everything you see and feel, everyone you know, everything that comes into awareness, received in happiness. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may happiness be a stepping stone to everyone's freedom. May all beings be happily free. Thank you very much. And with this bow, I end the sitting. Not having a bell here. So welcome everyone to the next week of our series on Samadhi. And if you hear in the background all the many birds, I'm sitting meditating outdoors at the lands of Spirit Rock, and accompanied by the birds and occasionally by the animals that are here. And it's nice to be meditating outdoors. So this week, the topic is the third jhana, the third of the three absorptions that the Buddha emphasized. And with this, happiness comes to the foreground. And the word is sukha, S-U-K-H-A. And perhaps it's when we get into this third jhana, things get very simple, very not ordinary exactly, but very simple. Nothing really special exactly, except that it feels so good. It feels so nice and so still and so quiet. There's virtually no thoughts at all. Certainly no discursive thinking, no conversational thinking. And there's one wonderful descriptions of all the jhanas that maybe is a nice entryway into the third jhana. abiding in the jhanas, in any of the jhanas, is called the happiness of renunciation, the happiness of seclusion, the happiness of peace, the happiness of awakening. I say of this kind of happiness that it should be practiced, cultivated, that it should be frequently done, that it should not be feared. It should not be feared. So I don't know how many of you fear happiness and joy, but certainly some people fear going into this very deep stillness where for temporarily we're putting aside all the reference points we have for how we live our life, including any reference point of me, myself, and mine. Conceit and self-concerns kind of fall away, which for some people is quite frightening. In a certain kind of way, our connection to other people is no longer salient, no longer operating in the moments of being deeply in meditation. And for some people, that feels like a betrayal or feels not possible. In the time of the Buddha, I think the reason why he said this should not be feared is that the renunciant ascetic traditions of his time didn't feared any kind of happiness because they thought it was a form of attachment. It was a form of keeping you trapped, caught in attachments. And the Buddha was saying, no, there is a happiness which is not a trap, that doesn't involve attachment, doesn't keep you in the world of clinging. And this is the happiness that comes from the renunciation, from a certain kind of seclusion, from peace, a certain kind of awakening from clinging with a clear awareness. So happiness is the primary characteristic of the third jhana. And in the second jhana, there's joy and happiness. And joy, as I said last week, is a little bit, the genesis, the source of it is a little bit more kind of a mental excitation. There's a little bit more thrill or the mind kind of says yes or something. And it manifests often with the strong sensations in the body, energies in the body, but it has something to do with the excitement or the activation of the mind in a joyful way. And at the same time, in the second jhana, there also is the sweetness of this happiness, contentment of this happiness that is deeper, more settled, more restful, more contented. And so the shift from the second jhana to the third is a quieting of the joy. The joy fades away is the classic language. And so sometimes for many people just the natural unfolding, because as we get more and more settled, more present, we feel safer, more content not to be thinking a lot, not to be trying a lot, not to be trying to make something happen. It's enough just to be present, just to be here. And there's a movement towards calming that happens. It's just a natural movement. And at some point, there's a calming of this joy. And what's left is the happiness, this sweet happiness, this deep sense of well-being that feels very embodied. And some people, the way to shift from the second jhana to the third is to feel the joy, certainly, but at some point, see if you can distinguish the happiness that's there from the joy that's there. Find the more sweeter, the more contented, the more softer happiness from the more excited kind of joy. find it in your body, and then put your attention there. Rest your attention in that sweeter kind of happiness. And maybe even in the exhale, kind of settle into it, rest into it more, letting the joy kind of fade away, fall away. So some people can kind of that's a way of entering into the third jhana. And with the mind getting very quiet, so there's no discursive thoughts. There might be knowing, there is knowing. It might be a non-verbal knowing. And the Buddha describes that in this third jhana, there is still sampajana, which is a Pali word that means clear recognition. So there is a very simple knowing that simply recognizes what's going on and that it's good. And it doesn't have to involve, conscious thoughts, non-verbal thoughts perhaps. But there, it's really registered. We know that, oh, this is good, this is happy. And because the thinking mind, the reactive mind, the mind has gotten so quiet, there's almost no tendency to be reactive, to be for and against any experience. Different things happen if they do, and it doesn't rattle the mind, doesn't stir up the mind. So there's a lot of equanimity in this state. And there's a lot of awareness. And it's not the mindfulness that is a doing mindfulness. It's not a mindfulness that involves mental noting or it is no longer any need to be focusing on something. The mind is just very present. And in the midst of it, there might be breathing, and the breathing has gotten maybe very subtle now, very quiet. And that breathing might be almost continuous with the happiness and with that well-being. And it all happens in a real sense of awareness, a field of awareness, field of openness, clarity. And so the classic description is, with the fading of joy, a practitioner abides equanimous, aware, with clear recognition and experiencing happiness with the body. So here now there's 4 primary factors of the third jhana that are here, that are kind of the primary characteristic. And whether these are really distinct states or whether they're somehow all part of the same, that can be kind of, like different sides of a diamond, I don't know. So these 4 are being equanimous, aware, clear recognition, and experiencing happiness with the body. So here the emphasis is so much with the body. We're at rest, we're at peace with the body. It really feels that for the time we're in the third jhana, that we're not anymore in our normal body. We're not experiencing the karmic body. We're not experiencing the physical body so much, that with the aches and pains and all that. And these all kind of that body. It's almost like we have different bodies to abide in. And the state of the mind has a tremendous amount to say about how we experience the body. Not that the state of mind is responsible for the experiences of the body, but the state of mind has a lot to do with how we experience the body. And when thinking becomes very, very, very quiet and still, when the mind is very focused, very still and centered, when there's very little effort needing to be done to just abide, dwell, float in the present moment. When kind of active, energetic joy and energies in the body get really quiet and still, at that point, the body's experience very different. The body feels very, very light, almost like it has no weight. The body feels very open or transparent, almost as if sometimes it's beginning to feel almost like it's completely translucent or something. It's like very clear. The body can feel just very cozy and sweet. It can feel like it has no boundaries. Not so much because there's no boundaries, because the mind is not oriented or constructing or tuning into that sense of boundaries to the body. And very, very sweet, very deep, very quiet. So, key factors of the third jhana is the fading of joy, equanimity, awareness, clear recognition, and happiness of the body. All of which one abides in these experiences, one rests in them. It's almost as if we become them. We're one with them. We're unified with them. So that's my introduction. That's the introduction to the third jhana. And we'll spend the week with this. And maybe there won't be too much to say, but to practice with it. And we'll see how this goes. So thank you, and I'll be here at Spirit Rock for 2 more days, and back at IMC on Thursday. Thank you very much.